All right, Matthew, as we look at putting this in the calculator, it's not a bad process, and you can do it in stages if you want. Let me get my pen synced up here. And I apologize if you hear the baseball game in the background. The Yankees are playing the Indians, and it's in the top of the ninth, and the Yankees are up one and two guys on, and hopefully get some extra insurance runs here. There's the pairing. All right, so here we got Professor Atkins has a habit of crinkling up papers she doesn't need and trying to throw them across the room into the trash can. I could probably do that and maybe hit Jax in the back of the head, and that'll keep him awake in class if I try that. The only problem is that Professor Atkins is not very good, is not a good shot. Her students assess her chances of success, so the probability of success, as I get a pen tool. Oh, come on, where'd you go? Come on. There we go. Probability of success is equal to 0.10. Ooh, she's a bad shot. She has 4 pieces of paper to throw. Let X be the number of shots she makes successfully. Okay, so, okay, I see. All right, so probably 10. We did a total of 4 shots, and eventually they're going to ask us that R is 1. Now, here's the crazy one. This is requiring us to draw a table. And as I draw my table, where we got X on top, P of X on the bottom, we basically have 4 pieces of paper. So what are the odds that she doesn't make any? She makes 1, she makes 2 of them, she makes 3 of them, or she makes all 4 shots. So we got to create a table. Now this is where the calculator comes into play for us we got to use it to fill in these boxes is what we got to go through and do. So now with that in mind, the formula is NCR, and I'll show you on the calculator. I'll do this, times the percent success, 0.10, raised to the number of successes we're looking for, so R, then times the percent of failure, which is 1 minus 10, or 90, or 0.9, raised to the, it's supposed to be the n minus r power, n minus r. So when we look at our r being 1, then, there we go, Yankees got 1 run. Then this would be 1, and then we would do, on the other one, we would do 4 minus 1, which would be 3. And then that's going to be the answer that goes in the second box. So I got to plug that in there. And then the NCR would be basically 4, choose 1, and then the rest of this stuff. Okay, and again, we can type this all in the calculator in one fell swoop. We have to do this for each one of these things. We got to change that R is 0, R is 1, of course, R is 2, 3, 4, because they ask us greater than 1, which means I have to add up all those cells because this is the cell for greater than 1. All right, so we got to do this formula 5 times is what we got to go through and do. So now, how do we do it on the formula? All right, well, let's get a split screen going here. All right, so on my split screen, as I try to zoom in a smidge so you can see it. Where'd it go? Where'd the calculator go? Go. Oh, there it is. All right, so let's get that out of there. So let's clear that. And then now we say, okay, where is the NCR button? The NCR button is in Math, arrow over to PROB, and then it's option number 3. So I'm going to press option 3. On the newer TIs, they give you the boxes at the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and put our 4 and then put a 1 in there. Arrow to the side, and then hit times. Now I'm supposed to do 0.10 raised to the 1 power. So parenthesis, 0.10, parenthesis, raised to the 1 power, arrow to the side, times, parenthesis, 0.90, close the parenthesis, raised to the 3rd power. And then now I'm ready to press enter. And what I get for an answer is the decimal for the second box. And I'm going to go back and get the 1 with the 0. So hit enter, and that gives me 29.16. So again, I got a really big font here and I got a squishy screen, so let me rewrite this and try to get some bigger cells. So we got X, oh, we got 0, 1 we know is now 0.2916. Then we have to do this with these other ones here as well, and we need a little bit more room and put a 4 there. All right, so now you can go back through that whole process to redo it and retype that in, or what I like doing is pressing second enter, and it takes the last formula I put in there, and then I'm going to go back and change the numbers where they need to be. So in order to do the first box, I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning. And in the first box, I got to change the number after the C to be a 0. The first exponent will be a 0 because those match. Whatever's the last number you put after the C, that's the first exponent. Then we go over to the next exponent. And in this case, again, it's supposed to be 4 minus 0, which is just 4. So we just press 4. And then we press enter. And then we get 0.6516. All right, we got to fill in the other two because really the other 3 really are what my answers are based off, because again, we wanted the probability that X is bigger than 1. All right, so let's go second enter, and then let's go back to the beginning, change the number to the right of the C to a 1. Go up to the first exponent. We copy, we make it a 1. Then we go to the next exponent, and we say, okay, what's 4 minus 1? 3. Again, the 2 exponents should add up to be what my end value is. So now I'm ready to press enter. And Mr. Stevens just redid the same one he already did on the first time, just realized it. Doofus butt, that's what I am. Enter, and go all the way back, and then we need to go to the 2. Sorry about that. I'm sorry if you're thinking, why did you do that one again? I wasn't realizing I was paying attention to the baseball game. Don't watch baseball and do math at the same time. Moral of the story. All right, so now to get a fix of that, it's going to be 2 and 2. All right, so we got 2's and 2's in there. We hit enter, and that gives me 0.0486. We go back to our 4-digit decimal rule. Again, we're going to do it again for the third spot. So I'm going to go back there and put a 3 at the last there. Go to the first exponent and put a 3. Go to the next exponent. 4 minus 3 is 1, so this one would be 1. I press enter, and that gives me 0.0036. Whoops, sorry, that's a crazy 3. 6. Crazy 6 too. 0036. All right, some combination of those numbers there, digits work for you. All right, and then we do the last one. Second bump, and then we go all the way back, and we go change it to 4. And then we change that to a 4, change it to a 0. And then we hit enter. Ooh, now that means 1e to the negative 4 means that I have point, it starts with a decimal point, and I have 1 less 0 than that number 4. So I have 3 zeros and then the number that they give me. So this is 0.0001. All right. And so now we have what we need to answer the question. As I go over here, we say, okay, what is the probability that X is greater than 1? Well, again, that's saying I'm adding the 2 plus 3 plus the 4 zone. Adding those things, the probability of 2, probability of 3, probability of 4. So that would be 0.0486 plus 0.0036 plus 0.0001. All right, so now we get to go through and add it on a calculator. If I add the first, let me just put them in line. What the heck? 0.0036, 0.0001. 6 and 6 make 12. 13, carry the 1. 9 plus 3 is 12, carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. All right. And so what is the probability that X is greater than 1? Well, it equals 0.0523. That's probably, so there's about a 5.23% chance that would happen. Okay? I get to show you tomorrow in class a faster way to do this kind of stuff with the inequalities. If they just give you the equal sign, What's the probability that x equals 2? Well, that means I'm just doing one of the cells. It's the inequalities where we get to add up the things. So we got to create these little table things and kind of go from there. And then add the ones that it says that we need to add up together there. So, again, I hope that helps. And holler if you need anything else.